Welcome to my stream. Da 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 da, my stream. It's a stream and it is my stream and it's a stream and it's a stream. Welcome. I'm gonna check the levels on this because I just want to make sure this is like not a stupid way to do this. Ooh, look at this article. Interesting. I'm gonna read something out loud probably. Damn, look at that. Okay, let me go to my channel. I'm retired ballerina. Let's see if I can remember anything. Girl, retired ballerina. Let's see if I remember. I feel that so much. Of course you do. Girl, you're well trained. Cuter. You forgot how to skirt. Okay, that's funny. I'm watching a short. Oh, her extension is lovely. Yeah, it hurts. I know, girl. That's great. I subscribe to you now. Being a retired ballerina is very weird because it's like you can be a retired ballerina and like it just means something very different in ballet. Retired is not old. It could be kind of like you can be a young old and retired. But yeah. Okay. Let me look up something. I need to check how this music is relative to my voice. Is that my voice? Is that my voice? Eartha Kitt is a legend. I don't care if I'm saying that to myself. It's true. Is YouTube Studio working? I don't know. Let me double check that this is working. I don't know. Is this the right one? Oh my god, I don't know what I'm doing. No, I'm live. Okay, we're good. All right, let me go check me. Let me check myself, my channel. Let's listen. This sounds bad. My channel. Let's listen. This sounds bad. My channel. Let's listen. Cool. I think the music is a good level. Okay. I have Stream Element Spot running, so that's good. I'm gonna do one more thing before I start. And nobody's here, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Or is anybody here? No, nobody's here. It doesn't matter. I won't play this because apparently it's really easy to get a copyright strike. But like when Michael Jackson, I'm gonna say this again when I get viewers over here, actually. Yeah. When Michael Jackson starts singing that song, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. Is that the name of the song? I don't know. But that's the chorus. When I yawn, sometimes I sound like the noise he makes at the beginning of it. A little bit. I think that's funny. I'm just waiting for like mountain like a candle wax. It worked. Oh heck yeah! What up, fam? I have to watch for some reason my chat isn't showing up on my YouTube Studio. Let me try that one more time. That's weird. Let me try that again. Is it working? Stream finished. Well, I don't want that stream. Dismiss. Connecting stream software to go live. Yeah, but I am live. Okay, well, I can't... Oh, shit, well, then I can't put the chat up. What the fudge am I supposed to do now? Ah, what? Bruh. Okay, maybe I go here. I don't know. Okay, I've got the chat at least. Okay, well, that's fine. You know what I think's wrong with the notifications that I need to fix? I'm gonna keep calling you Dip because I'm used to that. I think I just have to schedule them ahead of time. So I put on the schedule tomorrow's APS and the HCAT on Sunday. And I'll start doing that for like, I don't know, Monday mornings or something. Or, well, you know what would be nice is if I did that on Sunday after HCAT, just like set the schedule for the week. Anyways, good morning. Exciting news. I'm making really vital progress in my effort to design a way for autistic people to, what was I saying? HCAT? Oh, Housekeepathon. It's just the abbreviation of Housekeepathon. I think it's funny. HCAT is just a fun thing to say too. I also like Hello Kitty. I don't know. It just like resonates with me. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, making progress. For my initiative to make a system for autistic people to be able to quote unquote do things, to be able to set goal, reach goal thing, work, do. Because if we do it in the way that allistic people do or non-autistic people do, I think our brains get stuck in a completely undoable place. So we do, I think, and I do think this actually is going to break down into a motor neuron faculty that we need to develop. It's very interesting. So what I think currently is that there's at least 2 channels or 2 pathways for doing. I'm going to call one pathway A, that'll be autistic, and then pathway B, which is the alternative that I think is impaired in autistics, so that these are separate schemas in the brain, separate locations in the brain. And if that's true, then it would be hard to separate them if you do not have this impairment, because you would be really good at like balancing between the 2 regions and kind of like communicating. Whereas with an autistic, I think we only have A as a viable way of creating locomotion towards goals, is my thinking. Now, it's going to be more complicated than that. This is sort of metaphorical, but like this is what I'm proposing as one of the ways that this has eluded and not been noticeable enough to give those people working with autism better designed interventions for those of us who are needing help, which is all of us. But I think motor learning is something that is intact in ways that haven't been fully explored in autism. And not only that, but is part of how we're compensating. And it doesn't stop there. Like, it gets into episodic memory and it gets into semantic memory, actually. And because we have this culture that has this weird brain-body dualism too, the idea that semantic memory could possibly have a connection to your motor neurons is like brain exploding, because everyone thinks we're gonna be a head in a vat or something. And that's not how we are as a species at all. So then I think it's insulting to autistic people, frankly, to suggest that we have no relationship to our body that we can function with. I think that's bullshit, for one. For two, I think there's multiple ways that what we think of as our cognition and what we think of as our consciousness, because we just think it's all in the brain, is actually a summation of motor neurons and associated brain regions and anatomical structures, both like in this so there's no brain body dualism, but like both within the limbs and within the skull, and the spinal column. So all of these things are connecting to one another to build a strategy of keeping alive, for one, but like, you have to think we primarily are still the tubes that were just kind of squinching around in the water. Like, we were a tube that ate and pooped, and that figured out locomotion. So we're all moving around and we're getting the food and we're pooping, and we're getting the food and we're pooping, and we're trying not to get eaten by another tube. So like we are a locomotive species. Damn it. So is the idea to build a link between thought? Yes. And the idea is to fortify the pathway A that I'm suggesting, that I think is intact, and to ignore pathway B. And this gets into embodied cognition, and also like Lakoff and his metaphors of Lakoff's metaphors are basically embodied metaphors, where he's saying that, have you ever noticed that we use a bunch of metaphors for things that are relevant to affective states and location of our body? So good is up, bad is down. These sorts of things. If you look up Lakoff's metaphors, I can also dump that in the chat if I have you ever seen that? Have I made you look at this before? I mean, some of these things I use so constantly and frequently and refer to enough that I may have already, but there's this university somewhere in Japan. I think it's like it's a famous Lakoff's metaphors that like put it on a little index. Yeah. Osaka. Sorry, not. Here we go. It's so web, like maybe 1.0 or maybe 2.0. I don't know. Yeah, here's the thing that I recommend. So it's just nice and simple. Coherent is whole. Communication is linguistic communication. By the way, linguistic communication is muscle. Change is motion location. Change is replacement. Change of state is change of direction, right? So he's talking about what I'm talking about, where it's like all of these semantic concepts are anchored in motion, are anchored in being embodied. Action is motion. Action is self-propelled motion. Action is alive. Action is control over possessions. Interesting because, yeah. Action on is transferring an object. Acting compulsively is ingesting a substance compulsively. Fascinating. Eat poop worms, We're eat poop worms. That's fine. We're beautiful. We're eat poop worms that can model at Paris Fashion Week. Like, like we don't have to feel bad about it. I'm just saying. Okay. All right, I'm just going to throw on my banana filter for a second because I need to finish brushing my teeth. And I don't feel like doing that much. Which banana? I'm going to be the golden space banana. I know! Right? They're super cool. And honestly, like we really need to spend more time with embodied cognition, like as a society. If we could spend a little bit more, as we move into the internet era more fully, and we have this weird idea that we're gonna like become computers. I'm like, dude, stop. Just no, we're not. You might be able to make some sort of weird hybrid thing that is not you at all. That like is a replication of you. It's kind of, sort of. You might be able to make like your computer twin, maybe. But why? Like, why do you want that? Why do you want that? Why? Enjoy your life, man. Like, don't no. Anyway, so neither here nor there. But the main thrust of me getting geeky on this, besides for the fact that I've always been kind of interested in this, special interest, what? Or I heard somebody say, instead of special interest, dedicated interest. I like that. So besides for that, main thrust is I think that there is an untapped set of skills and undeveloped set of way of learning and doing. Basically, I'm making a new theory of learning and doing that applies to autistics, could apply to anybody. Everybody could use it and more intentionally develop it. And then through that methodology, that training, that what was I going to call it? There's something, pedagogy, make a pedagogical thingy out of this. We'll have better quality of life for autistics, like way better quality of life and way better self-understanding, and then better understanding from others as well. So then autism won't be responded to in ways that are inappropriate, harmful, or exacerbating the issues in the first place due to an inaccurate model of the Humes that we are, the brain body non-dualistic things that we are. We're just a, as I'm like, we're a schmoddy. I'm like, that's not a brain and body, that's not a mix of that. What are you doing? A broady, a braindy, a briondy, brain dotty? You pick which one's best. I'm gonna brush my teeth. Brady. Yeah, well, it'd be like Brody. It would definitely be Brody. Yeah, Brody bunch. Brody bunch. Brody bunch. The Brody bunch. Oh my God. You know when people say unhinged? Huh? Yeah, it's a little bit cold. You know when people... I'm streaming too. You know when people say unhinged? I was gonna say that, like, my door ain't got no hinges. It ain't never had a hinge attached to it at all. My door was put in the Home Depot, like, delivery truck and, like, fell out in the middle of the road. I've just been tumbling down a hill all this time. What hinge? Where we're going, we don't need hinges. Just cartwheeling. Okay, so yeah, let's start doing APS stuff, shall we? Okay, so I also wanted to update my spatial calendar. Also, I made a really adorable troll person. Look at it! I made a little troll. Wait, let me wake them up. Come here. Her name is Bridget, which I think is freaking hilarious, and let me tell you why. Because she's a troll. Do you get it? Do you get it? She's a troll. And I gave her a little funny little feet that I had. I was like, oh, that'd be perfect, actually. They're supposed to be for, like, making, I don't know, like a satire, whatever. Look at how... Wait, I need to get closer. She's so pretty. I haven't done all her outfits yet. Oh my God. And I did her makeup. Look at Bridget. Get it? Get it? And she's got a little... She's a brick house. And I made her tiny. She's like pretty short. Where's this standard size sim that you can stand next to and chat with? Wait, chat with them. Heartfelt compliment. You're nice. She's just living with them as part of my my elaborate headcanon game that I play. Yay! Look at how cute! Adorable, right? Don't you want to be her friend? Yeah, she's gonna have like, she's basically visiting this other world. If I get the new pack, which I'm gonna ask my brother if he gets it, what he thinks of it. It looks interesting. I'm not getting it till I get a little bit more paycheck situations going on. But if I get the new pack, that will be turned into Trollland. But for now, she's just visiting the world to assist, because I will explain a little bit of my elaborate headcanon. In my elaborate headcanon, magic comes from these crystals, and the trolls were the ones that originally mined the crystals, and they're trying to figure out how to get access to this purple crystal that's super dangerous that the big bad is utilizing for her powers. But it's very elaborate. Okay. So cute. Exit to main menu. I save again because I want to make sure she's Bridget. So funny, right? Bridget, because she's a troll in the bridge. Oh man, I'm funny. Funny lady. I still, I won't be a banana for much longer because I feel like it really puts people off of the stream. Like, they're like, I don't like that. I don't want you. I don't want to hang out with the banana, which I honestly feel hurt by. Why don't you accept me the way that I truly want to be seen? Okay, let me get a different filter. What's a fun one? Maybe that. I'm just looking through blush options. It'll take me a second. Anyways, yes. Some of these touch your face up a little bit, and I might want that today. I feel like my hydration could be a smidge on the better side, and it's currently not. Which is fine, I guess. Which is okay. Hot Pocket blush, are you serious? Oh, that's kind of amazing. But it doesn't touch up your appearance at all. But it is pretty great, so I'm going to save it. Desktop blush? What's this do? Oh my god. Oh, it's so cute. The only problem I have with this is it does change your face quite a bit. Like, it makes my face longer and sort of appear leaner because it's longer, and it drags down the corners of my eyes, which I don't think I like that. This Sprite blush is pretty cute. I'll be there in a second. Anyways, then we'll finish this morning stuff and get back into some Simsy stuff because I want to work on my spatial calendar. So one of my current things that I want to share that I think I'm prepared to share. Ooh, bow blush. Ooh, let's look at this one. So one of the things I want to share is, so we've talked about APS as like tracking for sure. But we've also talked about it as like checking in with your affect, right? So we're all familiar with the affect chart at this point. That's been well established. So let's go affect 2.0 and say that for autistic people, one of the issues that we're having, if you can visualize this in your head for a second, just as a challenge, a little test of how well we've internalized the affect chart, we are getting potentially, and other people may as well, stuck on the left side too much. And what we need to do is get over to the right side more often. In fact, we can indulge in getting over to that right side without worrying about anybody's opinion about if we deserve to feel happy. Like, for one, what? For two, of course we do. And for three, like, we're way too stuck in a space that sucks. So we're gonna attempt to address that more directly, especially as I am developing this method that I'm talking about. Don't mind this. Let me get you back to where you are. Okay, now you can see your chat. Actually, wait, I guess I have to pull you over here. So yeah, so if you think about your affect, for autistics, for the time being, I want to know, are you on the left side of the dividing line currently? That's what I'm very curious about. And then the thinking is going to go towards, how do we get you from where you are mostly right now over to the right side? And depending on what's going on, where you are on the left side, we may want to aim top right. We may want to aim bottom right. So we're trying to resolve something that's not working effectively, right? Like there's a lot of things we can do with affect that are solution based. Because I think that affect is actually a reflection of us trying to do problem solving as well. Like at all times, there's kind of like the left side kind of says there is a problem. The right side kind of says, I have a solution to the problem, or I feel safe in how the problem can be solved. If not by me directly, then I have access to somebody who is part of that solution in such a way that I now feel okay about the whole situation. Okay, so that's what I'm proposing. And there's other things that can be proposed from here. I'm still finding my thing, so let me have my fun. Titanic blush, that is very weird. It's like Rose and what's his duck, their face. That was weird. We're finding some good blush and adding it back to my thing. So, okay, so then what we're trying to do is get us into a position where we're going to be working on a solution, or, you know, feel like we can take a break from working on it. That is successful, a successful break. Because what's happening, I think, for a lot of us is that we want the solution, yes, but we can't get any closer to it at present. And there needs to be times where we can't get closer to it because we're too tired and we need to be able to rest, right? But there also needs to be times where we maybe can get to it if we reframe it, and pick an aspect of the goal or focus on an aspect of our support system or even ourselves that will get us there. Cool. Looking at bow blush because there seems to be some cute ones. Oh, I don't like that. Okay, let me go ahead and pick out the blush I want. I liked, not that one. This one's really pretty, but it's like one of those VHS ones, so I don't know about that. Deers, which one did I like? That one's pretty cute. That's pretty cute. I don't know which one I wanted. Oh, that one's really neat. Oh, the Forky blush is so cute. Okay, I got it. Thanks for your patience. Hey! What's up? Thanks for checking the chat. Is it working? Hi, Cortessa. Okay, so now let's go over here. I'll put my screen back up. So let's start working on our tracking. So tracking is what I started out with in the beginning of all of this. And then let me show you the affect chart again too, because I think that's going to be relevant. Let's start actually with that. So affect, okay. So here's what I'm thinking. Now where's my cursor? There you are. Okay. I need to grab the cursor. Hold on. Bro. What? Can I not grab you? No, I need to grab the cursor. That's not the cursor. Oh, well, that's wonderful. Terrible news for me. I can't move my cursor anymore. What? Hold on a second. Browse. What? What are you doing, bro? I need that. Well, fine. Why don't we do this? Oh, now it doesn't even work at all. Oh, man. Okay. One second. So, shoot. Well, I had a cursor that I could move around, but now I can't. So we're just gonna try this again. So affect. So I think for autistic people, we're just stuck on the left quite a bit more than is necessary. And for now with affect, we just want to know, like, are you on the left of that line currently? Can you get over to the right? And if it's during the day, let's say ideally, can we get over to the top right? And it doesn't have to be, so that top right quadrant, we can just be very close to the center intersection. But let's try to get at least pink, you know? So that's sort of my, like, super dumbed down version of what the ultimate goal is for the tool that I'll be developing for autistic people, is that we're able to get consistently up to that spot in our affect. And affect is mood, which is the precursor for emotions. You have a mood all the time. There is not a time when you don't have a mood. Moods are just part of life. Where the fuck is my brain? I mean, literally, like I'm looking for a brain. Where did I put it? That's so strange. Because I think I lost the brain. Can I use you instead? Can we just need to use you. Open? Okay. Oh, look at her. There she is. But she's so... I can't seem to grab her. Like, what the heck? I can't move her. So if I can't move her, what am I... Oh, here she is. Okay, let's do bigger. And then I should be able to move her around, but why can't I see her? Are you below something? What is going on? Let's pull her to the top of the screen. Do you have to traverse affects, or do you try to jump? Traverse, kind of. So, look, she's got on skates. She's gonna go skating. So, all right. Here's what I think. So, this means there's a problem. To jump to a solution, or to, maybe not even a solution necessarily, but something that, like, you can move towards. Like, you're, like, think this is running away. This is going towards. More or less. I mean, this is very oversimplified. But, like, there's something you need to run away from, and there's something that you need to go towards. Okay? So if you're stuck running away from something, what we need to figure out is how to have something to go towards instead. And it may be the thing that resolves this. Like, let's say there's a big bad monster going after you. And then, you know what? I almost want to flip this. Hold on a second. Properties. How do I do this? Transform? Flip vertical? Nope, that was not it. I was like, I'll figure this out. I did not figure it out. God damn it. Okay, okay, what if I... Damn it. Okay, hold on. Why am I like this? Okay, that's fine. All right, so I'm having her face towards the right because that's the direction I want her to go. So, we are trying to figure out, even if it's not directly this, like, let's say the problem is something like, there's a boogie monster going after us, and oh no, but then we also know the boogie monster whisperer. Okay, well then we're like, boogie monster whisperer, help me with the boogie monster. And they're like, yeah, no problem. And then we're like, yay, or yay. Right, so we're trying to go here or here. And think of it like sliding over from this to there by not having to run away anymore, but trying to go towards something. So your mind will just like kind of smoothly slide around these at all times. So, and it's like, and remember this is a mood cube actually, so there's one more vector that would be three-dimensionally going this direction, and that's your sensory amplitude. So all that sense data being processed or not, whatever the case may be, is part of that as well. Oh, it's World Bear Day, by the way. I should have used a bear example. I was gonna use a bear example. How strange. I should have just gone with it. Like, look, it's World Bear Day. Hold on, where's my affect thing? I have too many sources. Where are you? See? Wait, where'd you go? World Bear Day. Why you shouldn't run. Fascinating. Well, this is gonna be, maybe there'll be a metaphor in this. We're about to be less afraid of bears. Wildlife experts emphasize that bear attacks are rare. So what's the real risk of getting attacked by a bear? How do I know if I'm in bear country? What should I do? First, experts say you should tell someone who is on there going, okay, tell people that you might get attacked by a bear. Wonderful. What should I do if a bear visits my house? Okay, what do I face? Okay, if you see a bear, plan a route away from the bear. Create a dangerous situation when they decide to get up close and try to take selfie or feed the bear like a Disney animal. Yeah, that's a really bad idea. If a black bear notices you, it's most likely going to run away. Brown bears tend to hold their ground more often, but any bear can become defensive and aggressive. No shit. If you notice a bear continuing to appear and disappear or follow you, it's a sign that the bear is either curious or hunting you. Oh my god. You shouldn't, if you deterred a bear away from your campsite, you shouldn't stick around. Relocate your camp because the bear might decide to come back. What if the bear starts to approach me? If you run, the bear will see you as prey and will start to chase you, and bears are great at climbing trees too. Like bear spray. Have a deterrent like bear spray. Okay. You need to adjust your reaction based on the type of bear you're facing. I don't want to face a bear. For brown bears, play dead. Lie on the ground, cover your neck, and remain still. Try to do that. Do what you can look like less of a threat to the bear. For black bears, the opposite is true. Do not play dead. Walk away slowly to a car or building if that's not possible. Fight and focus your blows on the bear's face. Holy shit. To remember what to do in a bear crisis, wildlife experts often cite this refrain. If the bear is black, fight back. If the bear is brown, lie down. Holy crow. This is why we live in a sexist nightmare, by the way. Daily Mail. Brawless. What the hell is wrong with you? Like... I hate that. Okay. All right, enough with the bear stuff. But yeah, so now you know, now you feel slightly less afraid of bears if you know what to do. If you have a I don't want to say a plan, but you have a way to work on the problem. I don't know what I'm talking about. Do you have the chart that shows a ton of emotions might help to figure out the next step to take? It depends. So probably not, because emotion concepts are generated by the individual. So what is easy for you to go to from one emotion state to the other is probably completely individual. I think I would think more generally, like, are you in a very alert emotional state? Are you in too much of an alert emotional state? Do you need to take a break from being in high alert mode? Versus, and we already know we're worried about the valence being too low. But yeah. So it's not like you're trying to go to the opposite. It's not backwards, right? Because then I don't believe in opposites. But what we're trying to say is, like, we're trying to be more nuanced than that, actually. So let me grab my affect thing again. What I'm suggesting we're doing is, it's important to have a lot of affective states turning into a lot of emotions with a lot of granularity, just for the sake of being like, what is this most like, and coming up with something more specific instead of vague. So then you can take more concrete actions, more specific actions. You can have more precision in what you think you need to do about it, or what you think is even going on, because it's all a guess, right? So I don't think it makes sense to try to make the opposite guess. That's not useful. But basically, you're saying, like, I would translate this into, I have a problem. This is all I have a problem. I don't have any solution to it. First, I would check, can you ever in your lifetime make any headway on this problem at all? And if so, is the way of making any headway something that you would ever want to do? If not, you're not the person to solve it, you know? Like, it's just not, that's not your job. That doesn't make sense for you to put yourself into that, because now you have another layer of problem. Now you're all the way over here. You're starting to fly out into space, where your problem is that you can't, you aren't the person to solve the problem because you don't want to solve the problem, which you consider to be a moral problem or a fail. Like, you're starting to leave the Earth's atmosphere and go into, you know, like a different galaxy. So don't do that, is what I'm suggesting. So if there's any aspect of it you potentially could start to solve, then you can learn. So the other way to slide this, so if she's sliding around this line and not below it, this is where you're learning. So if you're in a learning mode and you've been in it too much, like, you might need to rest. And we don't want you to rest down here, right? That's what I'm saying. So really think more in terms of your goals. Like, the granularity is useful, I believe, yes, but in terms of your goals, don't worry about it, because it's going to turn into like horoscope shit. It's going to turn into horoscope. You don't want to make anything too convoluted, because it'll probably be wrong when it comes to this, because emotions are already concepts that you have constructed yourself inside of your own brain in response to your lived experience and your culture. So they're not that reliable, and they're also just guesses about what your affect means. And they may be very, very wrong. So I wouldn't worry about that at all. And also, do you see how you like accidentally imposed a dualism again? So this is a matter-of-fact way of saying you have a metabolism, and sometimes you don't have the metabolic capacity to do anything anyway. So you're going to be down here no matter what you do. So this is your metabolism, and this is, you are a worm that needs to run away and go towards, right? So this is probably how we establish the idea of opposites, is really this. Because we don't even super think of like high arousal as the opposite of tired, because have you ever been on coffee when you're really tired? Like, you're aware that your metabolism is kind of weird and funky, right? Like this isn't where I think we get this, because we don't have that high of a sense of like agency over our metabolism, right? But we have a sense of agency that we experience as a self with movement, with going towards and away, right? So this, sure, but in general, we're trying to say that if we're going towards something rather than running away from something, we're probably going to be having a little bit less pain and fear and anxiety as just part of the signals that we're trying to figure out. And fear, pain, anxiety. I'll say fear and pain, right? I've said that that's coming from the same schema of the brain. It's the same location. So it's the same thing. So you're really trying to make sure that you don't die or sustain an injury that is going to be life altering. Okay? So you're very, very motivated to not do that. And that's great. What phenomenal motivation. But we don't want this going off when it's not true, right? Because we got to use it judiciously. This is gonna fuck us up if we're all the way over here all the time, and it just doesn't feel good. Okay, go get ready. Yeah, no worries, we'll be here more. Anyways, hi Rowan. I was just explaining how I'm working on this aspect of like that. I think if we're, Rowan, I didn't get to tell you this part. So what I'm going to do with our affect check-ins going forward for the time being at least, and then this will probably evolve again, is just ask like, are you on the left side of the line to start with? And then are you in a learning state, or are you in a like, low arousal, no energy state? So it's like are you, first we'll check if you're on the left side. Then we'll see, is it more realistic or smarter to get you to be relaxed because you're doing too much attempts to learn, you need to take a break? Or are you in a good spot and it would be good to get some learning done? I would generally say if you've been here a whole bunch, it's probably a good idea to go here for at least a second and then start to work your way back up, right? Work your way towards this. So maybe like the pathway is going to be more like this, or if you're over here, slide here, right? And then back to here. So maybe what we're practicing people doing is going dunna, and then instead of right, dunna, when they need to rest. Or if they're here, we'll try to slide them over, keep resting, go here, and back to here. Instead of slide over, keep resting, right? Which probably, honestly, this probably goes like this. Bam! That's how we end up here again. It's probably difficult to do this slide. Although I'm sure it's not impossible. And look, she's got ice skates on. So, okay. Let me get rid of this affect thing. In fact, I'm going to pull Mr. Affect somewhere else, because I'm going to use it more often for the time being. You come over here, please. Okay. There we go. Boop. All right. Yeah, you like it. Seems like a good way to focus on troubleshooting various coping techniques, because moving from top left to bottom right can be hard. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Even just like letting yourself go a little bit down and then maybe sliding you over to the right would be intelligent. I know that went the weird way. Did it? Or wait, did I? Is this backwards? No, that was right then. That was right from your perspective. Right down and then over to the right. Yeah, okay. Right? I'm confused. Yeah, no, that would have been... I did it right. Okay. Anyways, doesn't matter. Sometimes when this is mirrored, I'm like, what do I do? All right. Let's do tracking. Right. I don't remember what I was doing. That was cute. I was like, what? What, huh? Here we are. Okay. Yeah, so this could be a good strategy for testing soothing coping techniques to make that transition. Exactly. Exactly. So first I want to ask, where are you? I'm definitely on the right side of the line, which is good. And I feel like I'm a little bit more in the learning area. I mean, I'm more alert in general, and since I'm on the right side of the line, which is good. And also, by even acknowledging that I've made it to the right side of the line, that actually calms me down a little bit. So I'm like, now I'm a little soothed. Yay, you're on the right side. Oh, that's convenient. That's convenient. What a nice metaphor. You're on the right side. Odd. I don't know. Actually, that's probably an intuitive thing that somebody did, right? Where it's like, right is good, right is complete. Yeah, it is neat. That might have been a byproduct of the affect chart coming out of Western English writing professors, but who knows? I don't. Somebody might. Okay, so I've been tracked a lot, but that's okay. I ate. Control C, Control V. Actually, I'm just gonna copy paste this way. Sometimes that's easier. I did work on this today, and I'm proud of myself. I need to like clean up my trash bin today so I can take pictures of. Oh heck yeah! For our artwork time. And thank you so much. Yesterday was also very helpful and definitely helped slide me over to the right for this day. So hugely appreciative of that. I'm glad that that worked out schedule-y wise. I guess having it look dingy and grungy. Yeah, it could be. Maybe take one of each so you have options, by the way. Like, probably cleaning it is a nice idea just for you. Did you hear back from Sarah? Probably. I didn't look. Hold on. I don't know. Not yet. She hasn't seen it yet either. She probably was busy as well. Okay. Oh, Jim, yes. I heard back from Jim. Jim said... What did Jim say? Oh, what's going on with What's Real? Nothing. Okay, good. He said that's all good, and what song is the skeleton art for? And I said, tell me how you really feel. So just said, okay, that's all good. So yeah, sounds like I can just do the video up on YouTube for Blink Waves, and then also use SoundCloud for it. So that's easy. And then I can continue to do that if we have other projects similar in nature. I did this. Definitely this one is coming up. Also, I did get this yesterday, so I'm just going to note that. I've been working on this pretty well. Okay. You know what? I don't think I'm having too much in my thinking is that like maybe we'll have like an alternative to brain stabby when we have this more like formulated as to like what this different way of learning and doing is. Like maybe brain stabby is getting stuck on the left side, and then we'll have something. Oh, you know, it should just be a reverse of this, but it's holding like a flower. That would be super cute. Can we do that? Like it's just because that's facing to the left, right? Left, right. Oh my God. So what if we took the, do you have this brain asset? And we just like flip brain to the other side. Maybe make its eyes a little bit calmer. Like give it green eyes. Because this is like, make it stop. But it could have, so it's facing to the right, has a nice soft green eye, and then holding like a flower or something. Do you think that's a good thing for it to be holding? It could also be holding a wand with a star at the top of it with like star sprinkles coming off. Either way. Maybe the flower. We can ask Scud, or Scud could do it. I don't know where Scud is at. You could also, I won't use it without his permission. If you can make it, maybe we can ask Scud, like, is it okay if we implement this version of it as well? I think that would be the best way to go about it, probably. I'm pretty sure if I reach out, I'll hear back, but we'll wait until we will. Okay, great, perfect. Thank you. This got done yesterday because of your help, so I'm just gonna put that there. Oh, I did prep food today. Good for me. That's pretty much what happened. Okay. It's fine by me. Also, I was combing through what was already on the camera, and there's some cipher stuff on there. I don't know if you'd want to use that for anything, but we could. Sure. I think that seems like a good idea. If there's anything where I'm like doing really well, please, yes. Just be like, I mean, we could use it to promote this thing. Like when I need to start talking about it probably pretty soon. Okay, let's go work on Spatial Calendar. It's not the best footage, but it's still something. Well, as long as my performance is okay in it, I mean, even if the footage is whatever, that's fine. I guess I have to be Kyle in this. That's okay. Hard to move with my nails, even though my nails kind of match it. I can't. Here, let me grab this. There. Some of the hygiene got done, but not enough of it. That got done, and that's kind of it. Okay. Alrighty. Let's figure this out. So this is on break for now, so I'm just not going to worry about it. So that for now, I'll take it later probably. And then I haven't updated this for a bit, so I have to change the dates and stuff. Did I put improv into my thing? Broken and Ugly is Broken and Ugly CC. I'm trying to get it all out so it's not gunking up my stuff. Okay, I did do improv. Okay, that's good to know. So this is gone, which is cool. Honestly, not mad at that. All right, 10:30. I have an appointment for Merlin this week. Is a checkup. Got a little bit messed up. Okay. I shouldn't be out that late. Maybe there. Okay. All right. I am not a dog. Okay, HCAT is there. I want HCAT to have a different floor. Let's see what we got. Apparently you can do like quarter floors on purpose, which I did not know. Like the little triangle quarter floors. So let's make a fun pattern, shall we? Like, let's see. Like I can do, I think it's Control F. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Holy crow, I didn't know I could do this. That's very cool. Wow, that's neat. Look at that. Okay, well, let's do a diamond shape. I like that. Whoopsie, I did that wrong. I just learned this trick. Oh, wait. How fun, right? Takes a little doing, but neat. Cute. Kind of soothing to do, actually. I was like, oh, that's a little tedious, but actually it's fun. Wait. That looks really cute. Oh, thank you. I'm good. My hair's growing out kinda, so thank you. I'll keep that in mind when I get it cleaned up a bit. That it's actually already looking pretty good. Oh, I don't have to hold it down, it stays. Oh, that's great. Okay, well that's even better. I thought I had to hold it down the whole time. I don't. I can just do that. Cool. It's pretty easy. How are you today? Oh, actually not in how are you today, because that's how are you doing. Are you on the left side or the right side of the line between positive and negative valence on your affect? Question 1. And if you need a reminder, I'll throw that up for a second. Pick up a medication he prescribed. What was it? Are you on the left or the right side of the valence? So, you know, the arousal line splitting in the center. Are you on the left side of that, or are you on the right side of the center? So we're asking a question about your valence being left or right of the center line. Today, right now, currently. Not your global pattern at the moment, just currently. Cool trick that I learned. I really like that I got to learn this. It's neat. Cool. Oh yeah, that looks neat. And then it's very glowy. Fun. Very fun. All right. I like it. Oh, did he sneeze? I didn't even notice. To the left? Okay. Are you... And then... Are you top left? Are you somewhere in the top left quadrant or bottom? And that's more about metabolically, where are you at? And you can think of this as like, let me show you something. Everything here is you're trying to learn, or this is a state in which learning becomes possible because you have enough energy to do so. There's energy going towards it. Okay, so then what's the problem? You have a problem. What is your problem? That is, so when you think about this state, there's a problem causing it. What is that problem? The allergies that I mentioned. Okay. Do you feel good about the medication that he prescribed? Like, how are you feeling about that as a solution? Do you trust your doctor? How was the interaction with your doctor? Okay, this is not up to date at all. What are we up to? The 23rd? Jeez. Louise. Okay, that's fine. I am awaiting your response. Oopsie. Oh, fudge. Nope, that's wrong. Why don't you want to do that? Okay. Alright, let me read. Actually, wait, let me put this there and I'll read it in a second. There. Okay, I'm reading. Alright, you said, I hope it'll work out. It was fine. I'm not sure about the over-the-counter meds that you also recommended. They don't seem to be having a great deal of effect. And I have vertigo and sinus pressure now. By the way, could I make the brain design for you? The problem is that I have with it is that I want it to match the other brain and we already have the asset. It's okay for now. Thank you for offering. Oh! Wait, you know Scott's name? I didn't know their name was Scott. Really? Wait, no, that can't be right. Scud Marks. Maybe it sounded like Scott, right? I was like, that's his name? Yeah, if you wanted to, well, I could definitely, I'll let you know. Hi! Look, it's brains. There's so many brains here. I think you heard Scott and we said Scud Marks. Scud Marks has a funny internet name. And then I was like, wait, you know him? And then my brain imploded. However, I will take you up on that for something else if you wanted to make something else for the channel. That'd be neat. Oh, you're walking into the... You're fine. You don't even worry about it. But yeah, no, on this particular brain thing, I think we're okay. Only because it'll still match and crap. But that is very interesting information that I'm very interested in. And I would love to see what your work looks like just in general because I love art. I don't have my emotes here, but might just pretend I put my right brain on. Yeah, maybe one day YouTube will kind of get its act together on emote land stuff. For now, we do have some access to some of mine, kind of, sort of, but it's just very convoluted and I don't know. You don't know either. Okay, yeah. I don't know. Sometimes my brain gets... I don't know. Well, my brain is my brain, you know? You get it. You've been here enough time to get the general idea of how it be. Hi, Kyle! You can upload your emotes while... Yeah. Yeah, you can use BTTV. Yeah, I don't know his name. Yeah, it just... Yeah, no. Yeah, Scud Marks is his internet name. I was like, Scott? That's his name? Like, because I've known this person through Twitch for a long time. Well, yeah, kind of, huh? Like, I started streaming, like, over 2 years ago. 3 years ago? How long have I been doing this? No, over 2 years ago, not quite 3 years ago. Whoa, I just got scared. I was like, time keeps on slipping into the future! Crap! Which it does, and it's terrifying in some ways. But also, you know, I was walking my dog, thinking about life, being like, I've had a good life. I'm pretty happy with it. It's pretty weird, but I'm not mad. And eventually you can have emotes on YouTube. Not sure how. You need partner, I would imagine. Or whatever it's called here. Oh, I need to have some sort of a button, like, mailed to my house in silver and gold or something, whatever they do. I don't know. Rowan, if people don't have the tracker, you can use the tracker. Does anyone need the link to the tracker? 1K subs, 4K watch hours, that whole thing. Yeah. 1K subs. Oof, okay, we'll get somewhere. Makes me feel kind of ugh. Okay, so how many days are in March? I'll never remember this information, just and I accept it and it's fine. So 29 and then 31. Okay. Okay. I guess so. Don't know what these ones are doing. 31 is the what? The Sunday or Saturday or Friday? Okay. Cool. I don't know what these guys are doing. They're just hanging. We need to get Nightbot on here. Oh, okay. Let's do that. Sounds good to me. Uh-oh. This is turning into a graveyard of oddness. Oh, I see what I've done wrong. It's okay. Figure it out. That's Friday. My bad. But that's okay because I need that 1 and 3 to make the first day and stuff. So, yeah. 1, 2. This makes sense. That's April. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't notice that I did that. Whoops. Professional streamers like me are totally going to get a whole bunch of subscribers because of the level of quality. Yeah, we need Nightbot on here. I see why, because then we can do the like stuff. Yeah, I didn't understand that at first, but now I do. Oh, yeah, I was helping with the affect though. I didn't finish. Yeah, Hokey Man. Yeah, just try to relax as much as possible. I think if there's anything you can do, like, you know, you're going to be working towards that solution, focus on getting the prescription and how that can be possibly helpful. And even if it's not, you'll learn something, you know, and then focus on relaxing today. I would think that's what you should do. It could be worse, I think, in terms of like how many subs I have and all that. It certainly could be worse. Especially since I'm kind of, I think, an acquired taste and oddly specific. Insert metaphors here as to what that is, but yeah, that's what I am. Yeah, you're welcome. Let me know how that goes as a thing to think of. And also that idea that I've been saying lately of like that relaxation. Think of the relaxation as like really as an end, like book ends, right? Like you've done the learning part. Okay, so now right before the credits roll in the movie, and it's a movie with a relaxing ending, what are you visualizing? What are you imagining? And just give yourself a moment to like live it in your head. Want excitement and chaos in your life? Get a cat. Yeah, sounds about right. Same with a dog though, honestly. Well, maybe just my dog. I don't know. My dog's got some chaotic energy. That day is not today. For now, I shall guess the emotes codes is Jane, etc. There we go. Yeah, just guess them. Just see what, you know, find the limits. Testing limits is good. Waba, I want to ask you this question. So of this affect chart, and I will put it back down this time, and this is my little guy to show, are you on the left side of this line or the right side of this line at this current moment? that away. You probably got it. Valence, to Google. Yeah, go to Google. You'll get better definitions if you actually look up the definitions, because it's a slightly technical term. But it's a useful term to use in its purest form from the people who made it. Okay, I'm moving this guy over. I'm just prepping my April. And so it's easy to move it over. And also if I want to note anything, I can. Oops. I took that from the wrong... Oh no, that's in the right spot. What am I talking about? No, that's the wrong spot. What did I just do? Did I do something wrong? I think I did. I took the 3 from the wrong spot. Whoopsie. My bad. There. Up here. Thank you, brain. Is that a Fraggle from... No, it's from Muppet Babies. There's Scooter and Skeeter, the twins. That's the girl twin. I want to say it's Skeeter. I'm not sure which one was which. Oh, man. Skeeter, yeah. You gave up too early? What happened? Oh no. Oh, good God. No, 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 no. No, come here. Okay. Valence. Okay. Valence or hedonic tone is the affect's property specifying the intrinsic attractiveness, goodness, positive valence, or averseness, badness, negative valence. Attractive, averse of an object, event, or situation. The term also categorizes emotions. Emotions being further downstream of affect. Affect being your mood. And so did you see the intrinsic attractiveness, aversiveness of an object, event, or situation? So what you're responding to, right? And so come here. So if we go back to our affect chart, that basically can be translated to, just come here, Skeeter, going towards, running away. Danger, safety. Safe, yay. Danger, ah. Oh, you gave up too early. What? I'm just reading how the cat is weird. Okay. For me, I guess I would say I'm straddling line of anxious and calm. If it is helping, so trajectory is good if that's possible. Yes, that's possible. You would always be moving somewhere around this. So you're basically doing this. Have you been, let me ask you some questions. Have you, so think everything up here is your brain is trying to learn. So you have both the energy and your brain is also giving you energy. This is your metabolism in order to do the extremely metabolically expensive thing of learning. So if you've been trying to learn something for a while, maybe you're burning up your resources too much and you really, really need to get down here. So, and the reason we want you to feel safe, so some of this has to feel either resolved or just know that it's okay to not solve it right now so that it really is resolved. Like it's like you're actually moving yourself towards safety. So that when we don't crash and stay stuck down here. Beep. Beep. All right. See you later, Hokie. Thanks for coming in. Glad to see you. Okay, let's see. I'm very much somewhere in the middle at current calm. There's another C word. Complacent? Not content. Copacetic? I'm not sure, but also a bit uneasy and a bit worried about the cleaning situation right now. So, okay, so let's look at this again. So this is me beginning to build some, or formulating some sort of a different way and supporting methods of learning and doing. So you are saying you have a problem. So there is a problem is on this side. There is a solution and I have access to it, or I'm doing it, or it's done, is on this side. So you're worried about the cleaning situation right now. So there is a problem. Can that be resolved in any way whatsoever? Do you have any ability to go towards a solution? In any, even a small way? Even if that means another person and not you doing it, but you going to the other person and requesting assistance. Where was I? Oh, where was I? Ah, I was moving this over. Content, not, I'm accepting that the process is going to be the process and doing my best to not freak out and be upset about the situation. I'm being patient, but I'm annoyed about it overall. Whereas is to continue quietly supporting my partner in their process of cleaning. It is truly out of my control, and I think that's interesting. And fear and pain are the same, just so you know. Pain is fear realized, and it's much more efficient for your brain to process this as basically the same thing. Cleaner and less confusing, so it is. Except to me, 99% of the things would be thrown out, but it's a process and I need to respect that. Okay, interesting. Oh, cool. Maybe a little excited now that I spoke to my rap inspiration, the Hello, I'm a Female Rapper interview song. Really made me take the plunge. Excited is good. Yeah, I think it would be, it sounds to me like it would be good for you to find relaxing things to do. Cortessa. And then for Waba, I think it actually would be good for you to do something. Is there, and that's something I'm going to suggest that should be worked on explicitly, is this bookends idea. And so bookends is what I'm saying works better for at least autistic people, if not several other kinds of people, if not everyone sometimes. And so book is learning, and that's going to be here. Ends is visualizing that thing right before the credits roll. And really, you know, this could be a little bit of both when I'm talking about this bookends, but we'll separate it a bit because learning happens here. So can you learn more about, I'll say hoarding disorder, even though I don't like the name, because it sounds like that's potentially going to give you more insights. Like, how much do you know about the current literature on hoarding disorder? Even if it's not a perfect one-to-one application, it doesn't matter. Those are the people most likely to have insights on the sort of situation that you're in, that you can find easily through the googly woogly, etc. and so forth. And, you know, using Google Scholar and whatever to check out what's recent. If I were you, would spend some time learning about that today. And when you say you grew up with a hoarder, I also think that hoarding is a result of neurodivergency in many of, if not all cases. Maybe sometimes it's traumatic brain injury. I think that hoarding is actually a manifestation of neurological impairment. So I hate the term hoarding disorder for that reason. Discussing it with him only leads to more pain. So I forgot, did I misgender? I made an assumption. If I did, I'm sorry. With him only leads to more pain. Sometimes I forget who's partnered with who. So for right now, I am being happy with what is being thrown out and reminding him to make sure things have a space that is not in common area. I grew up with a hoarder, not sure about the current literature. I know the general brain process of it all, though, because of past experience in my master's. Yeah. What brain, can you share with me what you know about it? Because I have my own suspicions, and I would, my guess is that if you revisit the literature now, you're going to get some new information. So you may also have something going on where your islands of ability aren't matched up in terms of neurodevelopmental, well, I'll say disorders, because I'm not really afraid of disorder as a term, even though there's arguments to be made. But like, ultimately, we want something to give us outcomes that are improving quality of life, and obviously with space management, quality of life is extremely connected. Look up Swedish death cleaning. That's a new one. Thank you. I need to get on comms, to be honest, to fully describe it, but I'll try to. Sure. I'm mostly interested in, like, if you know the neurochemistry brain region sort of intersection, that would be very interesting to me. Look up Swedish death cleaning. That is actually the study. Not so much like the, yeah, that's what I'd be most interested in because of my hypothesis. And what year would you have received your training, for my reference point, because of my awareness of how quick the pace is moving with neuroscience? Don't know neuroscience brain. Look up Swedish death cleaning. Okay, that is actually the study of calming oneself and accepting and prioritizing the things that matter. It's very interesting. I've gone through what you are going through. Swedish death. Yeah, I would look up Swedish death cleaning WABA too, but I also want to know about this. What? Oh no. The gentle art of Swedish death cleaning, had for yourself and your family from a lifetime of clutter. Fascinating. There's some videos on it. Interesting. Okay. Oh, you're speaking of WABA. Yeah, no worries. I also wanted to look it up. So thank you for sharing it. But yeah, whenever I hear emotional pop up, you know me. Theory of constructed emotions. I'm like, what would the theory of constructed emotions have to say about that? Because then still, like, if you're saying that it got connected to emotions, well, then we have a problem with at least autistic people, if not the wide preponderance. No, that's not what I meant. Shit. The majority. There's a plurality of people with developmental differences, and even like traumatic brain injury, is that affect is different on us always because of the sensory amplitude, because of sensory processing differences. So if affect is different, then emotion concepts can't really be the same as in a typically developing brain. Even if we try to absorb the emotion concepts from our caregivers and our culture, I don't think we can succeed if we have radically different sensory amplitude experiences. It won't make sense. So, yeah. Emotional attachment misplacement. See, I hate attachment theory. Is that what's happening? Please no. I don't like attachment theory. That's a rant I can go on. There are whole books on the matter of severing your connection to the needless things and finding the objects that matter and how Swedish. Interesting. Emotional attachment misplacement. Let me look at that. I don't know that though, so I'm speculating wildly at this point. Attachment. See, I'm very suspicious about that, to be honest. Place attachment is the emotional bond between person and place. And it is a main concept in environmental psychology. I disagree with this already. There's a considerable amount of research dedicated to defining what makes a place meaningful enough to place attachment to occur. Yeah, but what if you have a visual spatial disorder that affects your working memory? Then how do you make sense of your environment and meaning? And what does that do to place cells and time cells, which are the cells that mark important spots in your environment? But basically, there's an attachment placed on objects as important as the need to hold on to things that most would deem as trash and need to hold on to it tight. Thus, anxious attachment with things. What if they're holding on to it because they have a deficit in working memory, and the only way for them to visual spatial memory and working memory, or spatial working memory specifically. So what if they have a deficit in spatial working memory, and the only way for them to not experience constant noise and misfiring is to lock objects in place, right? So what if the reason they become so important is because without them, they live in this horrendous state of uncertainty that usually we would never experience because we have spatial working memory, right? That means you'll never fix it. So you'd have to alter the environment to make it such that they don't have that problem being caused by the current environment, and that might be their workaround solution. So I think people are wrong. So in general, I think people are wrong. I guess there could also be a deficit and they need to have stuff everywhere all at once. So the reason is, follow me for a sec. So there's something called place cells. And these are neurons that, and neural pathways, neural signals that are activating when you have a mouse that's going through a maze and there's certain areas that are important to them for knowing how to get to the reward, okay? Now, you can fuck up their place cells. They'll get remapped if something changes in the environment. There'll be a moment of uncertainty and the place cells will change. If nothing changes in the environment, the place cells do not change. If you shock the mouse's feet, just shock them randomly, or shock them, in even a specific spot, I think, I don't recall. But if you shock their feet when they enter the environment at some point, I think it was at random, then the place cells try to remap at random. And they actually go to random spots. So what if you had an interruption of the signaling that would typically happen with spatial information, visual spatial information and working memory? So what if somebody's brain either had some sort of impairment where it couldn't go there successfully to begin with, or if when it gets there, there's an interruption of the signal. right? So then wouldn't that recreate the same problem? And you'd be constantly in a state of needing to learn. So I'm suggesting that if you have a neurological either misfiring or problem in the wiring where it's not even successfully reaching the destination, then you have a person who's in a constant state of uncertainty and maybe trying to grab onto anything to create the same harmony that a person with a typically developing brain would have. So if she's throwing out memories, like, is that because that's how she experienced a deficit in a working memory? Does that make sense? So she's literally explaining perhaps that she has a memory disorder. Right? So why would that be any less likely for it to be, like, I think it's infinitely more likely that it's actually a manifestation of a brain disorder, so a problem in the brain, a physical problem in the brain, because one of the most important things we do as a species is navigate through space. And if you have any part of that normal, typically developing process interrupted, you're still going to have to navigate through space. So you'll find some sort of adaptation, even if it creates problems. You can't not move, basically, right? That's not an option for humans. That's not an option for anything that's evolved to move, which is pretty much all life on Earth, minus, well, I mean, if you think about the time scale, even trees move, but yeah. So what she's saying might actually be a clumsy way of explaining my short-term memory is broken. We can't, but I think my hypothesis is that probably, and traumatic brain injury too. Like, the other thing too that I think we don't take into account is like how severe even a small concussion can be, especially if it happens early on in your life. So it could be just somebody got hit in the head one time. And that's why I typically don't like the idea of like you're going to just unpack an event that happened in childhood, because like it's too late, like your brain developed around that event. But also I think that most of what happens to us, there has to be an epigenetic potential for it to happen. If you're completely like protected from something epigenetically, like it just like physics would be, because it's all physics, right? Physics would be at a really I'm trying to think of this. Physics would be at a disadvantage to knock you off balance, basically, right? Like you're sturdy, something's really sturdy. So the practical solution would be that you're reducing shame. So the worst thing I think you can do is introduce shame and leave it there, and give people no way to solve that problem of shame, because what's going to end up happening then is shame is an unsolvable problem. Hoarding comes with shame, and if not even shame, then also other problems of like my parents were not good enough, which is an unsolvable problem. You can't go back. So now you have an unsolvable problem. And this can also lead to uses of substances, because if you have an unsolvable problem, you can't live your whole life here. You will do drugs. You will do drugs. Because you need relief. And you'll overuse sex. So you'll use something that gives you a huge pain block. So orgasms, many drugs that are very popular will block pain, and that's going to give you a break from this. So this is where I take issues with this, where it's like, if only I had done something different, if only he had done something different, if only she had done something different, if only they had done something different. You can't solve this problem. And it makes it much more attractive to just hijack your brain and fix it that way temporarily. And then the problem is if you use that, you guess what else we have shame around? All substances and behaviors that we've deemed as addictive. So that's also gonna situate you here. So that's my working model of it, is that actually we should think of so many more things as like, this is the brain. Like, why be ashamed? I'm scared of drugs too. Why be ashamed of something that, let me think about this. Why be ashamed of something? Okay, let's start this over. If somebody was born without an arm, should they be ashamed of themselves for not growing an arm? Yeah, thank you. My calendar is pretty much done. Kyle's gonna visit me again. My partner's gonna visit me, and I love it. I'm so happy. Right. Thanks for going with me on that. Now, granted, like, I don't want to undercut fields that I am not a participant in that have come up with really helpful things. I think that this would supplement what's already been developed and make it more effective ultimately, because I think we'll be cleaning it up. I think this is what we do, right? We find a train that works, right? And then we take all our baggage on the train. And then we think we need all our baggage to ride the train. But we don't. The train is what's getting us from point A to point B, not all our baggage. But when we first got on the train, we got on the train with all our baggage, which is the history of psychology, which comes out of, unfortunately, some really wonky stuff out of psychoanalytics. Similarly, we shouldn't be making people with trauma feel ashamed, try to process their trauma. However, there is a functional, I really hate that term, versus dysfunction. Oh yes, of course. I just think that shame doesn't get people out of dysfunction, in my opinion. Like, the first thing you have to do is reestablish trust, right? And there's some you have to trust that this person on some level, even if they can't bring it to reality, would like life to be nice, right? And even if they can't do it, but if you say, like, I believe you that you want life to be nice, that's, like, for me, step one. Because then you're actually reifying and affirming their humanity, because in their life, like, not even like their humanity per se, although humans, we make it very complex, but you're basically saying, I believe you that you want to do this, right? I believe you that this is what you want to do. And you're affirming that they are a member of your species that has the fundamental, if there is any, quality of our species, which is to try to go this way. I believe that you're not the opposite of a person, because the opposite of a person, the opposite of the little squiggly wiggly worms that we originated as in the ocean, would be going this way. Right? That's not true. Even if somebody looks like they're going this way, and they are actually going this way, because, yeah, even if it looks like they want to go this way, even if it looks like they're trying to go, ultimately you have to trust them that, like, really deep down at their core, this is who they are. This is who we all are, right? Now, this can get super distorted, but as long as the person isn't dangerous and we're not talking about, like, some really wacky shit, then you can reinstall this trust in the person by affirming it and helping them to see that you see it. For me, my hoarding like connected psychologically to other possible lives I could have lived. I crafter like my parents, or cook like my mom, or reader like I used to. Yeah, and Cortez, are you Spectrum? I don't know who is and who isn't sometimes. I assume people are because of my title, but I don't always know. I think for Spectrum people too, but maybe for everybody, like having like interests that you might be able to revisit is actually very important. So if you have an anchor that you would like to revisit it, I think that's smart, because I think that ultimately is going to give you more things to learn, and it's going to have you have more magnetic energy towards the right side. You think you are? Okay, perfect. That's fine. We'll work with that. That's your working hypothesis. Great. I know this now. So you're trying to go put some stuff on the right side, even if it's very abstract, that are things you want to learn. This learning is up here, right? Things you want to learn. Even if, so having some sort of anchor, remembering that I do want to learn this, can help you to have some magnetism towards this. Your BF is certain that you are. Oh, that's neat. That's fun. Since I have terrible memory, that is a thing that goes along with autism, but it's tied to those objects. I can't throw the objects off the train, or I feel like I'm losing like a piece. Yeah, and then it's like, so then to like travel light, I would say like the baggage that you don't need is the stuff that is making you slide to the left. The baggage that I don't mind if you take it, if we get rid of the stuff to the left, and we're like, oh, I don't even want that. Like the stuff that you actually want, that moves you to the right side of the affect chart on valence, right? That you can take with you. And it's probably lighter than the other stuff, in my opinion. Because why would it be lighter? If it truly makes you happy, like the heavier stuff, the stuff that's scary, we have a brain that pays more attention to that. So it's heavier, right? So your brain will spend more time thinking of the stuff that you don't want. Yeah, your hobby, keep your hobby stuff. Like keep the connection to crafting, keep the connection to cooking, keep the connection to reading. Keep it. And you will have time again. And the reason I want you to keep it is probably one of the things that's getting in your way is the fact that you're on the spectrum, or at least you have spectrum-like traits to the point that this may be impacting you similarly to how autistic people are currently impacted by our present day environment and culture, which is disabling us further, right? So hang on to rap, hang on to crafting, hang on to painting, art tablet, hang on to all that, right? Even like make that even bigger in your mind, that's going to be part of your book and your ends. Your book is your study, and your ends is the before the credits roll cool finale of movie of that event, of that discipline, of that task, of that skill, of that interest. Okay, so keep that. That's your motivation. That's your motivation, and know that what's impeding you from getting to your motivation is that what I believe is happening is the theory of learning and doing is biased towards a typically developing brain that has a region that we can't use. And if we try to use it, it goes so horribly wrong, we get locked in the left side. And then we're just playing this awful game of catch up. Right, so with all the baggage and all the, so just like stay very optimistic. I'm working on this. I can't be the only one who is, but that there's going to be ways, there's going to be a collaborative formulation of a different way of learning and doing. And this theory of learning and doing will apply to lots of people, but will specifically be ways for autistic and neurodivergent people with the same general regions of the brain impacted to do, right? So you don't have enough time because your ability to do is not working with your brain enough. That's what I think. And also our society needs to stop putting us in jobs that make no sense, just in general as a culture, period, the end. But so there's multiple things we could be working on, but I think this is real. Let me put it that way. So what I'm describing to you, I think, is in agreement with reality. I think I'm describing the physical universe that we live in. And getting there seems more probable than ever, right? I think the probability of us getting there in my lifetime is high. I'm actively working on it to try to get that probability higher. So, and I can't be the only one. Yeah. There's plenty reason for optimism just in that alone. And even what gives me comfort is that I think this is real. So even if for some reason it doesn't get reached, it is real. And I've seen the light, and the light is real. That's sort of where I'm at. And yeah, so I'll refine how I explain this over time. So I appreciate you letting me kind of stumble through it. Oh yeah, I was going to mark when Kyle comes. I forgot. Anyway, so I think that, I think that people with autistic brains or brains that have enough autistic-like behaviors, traits, mechanisms, anatomy, whatever, that they overlap with this. I think those people will be able to do quite a bit more than we realize once we get this skill actually like pinpointed, I'm saying there's at least two, and this is probably oversimplified, but we think there's one way of doing. Even if we understand there's different ways of learning, we still sort of think there's one way of doing, and that has to do with sequences and learning sequences and executing sequences and visual, spatial, short-term memory and working memory, so that you can have this serial processing thing, and that's how you do. You plan, and then you execute the plan, and you know where you are on the plan, and plan. So I think that is doing track B, but I think there's also a track A. I think a typically developing brain seamlessly bops between them and doesn't realize there's two things they're doing that are in two different regions of their brain, which I would argue is non-declarative memory, which is that sequential stuff, and then declarative memory, which is what I'm saying is what I call bookends, which is declarative memory breaks down, and it's not just memory, by the way, it's also future imagination. So making predictions, making simulations is also this. You have in declarative, you have semantic memory, which is like facts, and then you have episodic memory, which is things that have occurred to you, or things that you imagine could occur based on past occurrences. So it's mental time travel is what they call that one. Traveling forward, backwards, whatever. So I think that region of the brain, it's separate, by the way. So the non-declarative is in a different region. The declarative is in the same region, slightly different activation patterns, but same basic thing. So you're already there. And I think that part of the brain is intact and should be what we facilitate in any strategy that we use as the primary driver. And that may be what I'm talking about with this, like, doing A instead of B. Type A doing, not type B doing. Yeah, I'm still reading a whole bunch of papers on this. So, well, not really on this because I'm making this up. But I'm reading a bunch of papers to validate that this is worth making up. I am a feral intellectual. I don't have a degree. So take this however you want. Yeah, no, it's okay. I'm working on it so it'll be more digestible too if it starts to get more concrete. I'm working on this a lot. I'm really passionate about figuring this out. But I'm also I've been working on it for a long time, and also I'm at a new point with it because I'm autodidactically trained. It's like I taught myself, which could be useful. I could just be nuts. So yeah, thank you. I'm probably not nuts. I mean, depends on who you ask, but in the sense of like being deceived about a reasonable interpretation of reality, probably not. That part, no. I seem to have my wits about me. Okay, now where's that travel plan? I need to find it. Double checking when Kyle's coming. Meep, meep, meep. And it's 10:03, so I think I'm going to finish off the stream. I'll be back tomorrow, probably the same general window. Tomorrow I might be sitting down and doing some reading of some of the papers that reading, skimming. It'll depend on what I find on the neuroscience that I am trying to build my hypothesis with. Thank you! Thanks for following my mental journey. Huh. Oh, that's interesting. My BF only shares literature arts with me, so it has become the most important thing in our plan book. Literature arts, interesting. It's not all encompassing to my interest, but he is very important to me, so I need to limit that stuff. Interesting. Literature arts. Fascinating. I'd like to know more about that. But we can do that later. Okay, if we're working from a general definition of insanity, psychosis, etc., then you're not nuts. Your models are very consistent with reality. Thank you, Ron. Thank you for that. That's helpful to hear a person say for circular reasons. Yeah, I don't know. I just have to balance my special interest with my boyfriend's interest. Yeah, I think that's part of what it is to be, if not on the spectrum, then to have high spectrum traits, so that you do have those dedicated interests, special interests. I like either one, honestly. I think special interest is still cute and nice, and I like it. But yeah, I think probably there's still room to pioneer how exactly that should look. I think with my partner, he's figured out that leaning into the things that we have the most overlap with is great, and I've really appreciated that. And that leaves some room for my special interests to like grow into some of his areas and vice versa, which has been happening. And he's not spectrum, but he's somebody who has stronger interests in the things that he likes, which is maybe the way to go, I think, for people with that trait. I can't imagine being happy without that. Personally, it sounds awful. I don't understand why I would even be in that relationship. Oh, yeah, I wanted to mark off. I keep forgetting what I was doing. Sorry. I really want to finish this before. So, and my partner will be here from the 7th to the 12th. Okay, let me mark that. Okay, yeah, that's right. Your taste a lot like that. That's awesome. How long have y'all been together? Maybe I know this. This may have been said. Oh, no, it's okay. It's okay. I gotta have to. What, Jane? Oh my God. Slow down a little bit. I have to mark this thing. Okay, that pinwheel is very small. Okay. Oh, why won't you let me go closer? Bruh. Really? Wait, what? Did I do something wrong here? I should be able to go close. Why can't I? What do you mean that's outside the boundary of the lot, you jerk? Okay, well, they come in pretty late in the day, but I'll just put this here. 7, and then they're here until, he is here until the 12th. Okay. Where's the 12th? Oh, God. Oh, I don't know. Shit. Hold on. Is that the bottom? Must be. Yeah. This got kind of out of order, didn't it? That's alright. 9. I'll fix it later. This is what happens when you don't use this enough. It's so weird that it's like, I don't want to. Okay, buddy. Oh, it's like popping through it. Ooh, that looks awful. You know what? I feel bad about that. Let's do this differently. Let's just mark it with something on the floor. That's easier. So, oopsie, undo. Okay, I'm just gonna go like that, and like that, and like that. That's better. That's easier for me to tell also what's going on. Cool. It starts up here. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. Bueno. 15! Holy cow. Oh wow, that's not amazing. Many, many wounds. It's been quite a hard journey for him to try to understand me, and he has surpassed the master at that. That's really nice. I'm glad that that turned out to be such a wonderful partnership. That's great. There are many, many things I'm deeply interested in that I know aren't quite Jane's interests or even vaguely, but that's not a problem to me. Thank you, Kyle. I hope there's enough that it's not, yeah. I know there's some interests that I have that you don't have, and that's totally cool too. I'm glad that we have the overlaps that we do. They're nice. They're great. Okay, so yeah, I have that. Yay! And that's so soon. Well, pretty soon, because then there's like one more week here, and then that week, and then that one, yeah. Okay, well, thanks for coming. Thank you for the viewers. This is the best viewership I've had, I think, for a while. So I may keep streaming till 10, because it looks like it really picked up later on in the stream. Very interesting. If anyone stopped by that likes this, I do Autism Peer Support that I've been developing my own model of for a couple years. I started on Twitch. I hate Twitch for a whole bunch of reasons. This is going to be better. I'm a rapper, singer, songwriter. I have a background in classical ballet, thank goodness. And I was diagnosed with autism 12/12/2019. And interesting life background, pretty much my whole family. There's just no way they aren't all on the spectrum. My mom, my dad, my brother, but like, maybe not my brother, but I think he is anyway. So, but he also has dyscalculia and whatever and so forth. But yeah, my parents, nobody else has the diagnosis, but it's just like, I seem to be a part of a unit of autism. So yeah, so I have a interesting life so far, and I'm working really hard on developing better quality of life tools for autistic people, especially around our under and unemployment issues as adults, and other things around just being sad and not having a great life. I'd like us to have great lives. All right, thanks, and I'll be here tomorrow 8 to 10-ish. Yeah. Enjoy your day. Go listen to some Mr. Rogers songs. Dude was a genius. And the end. Goodbye.